My wife stepped out in a tight, nearly see-through dress with nothing beneath it. Her response that night changed everything. She emerged from the bedroom as if she were stepping out of a life that no longer included me. The hallway light was low, but the dress didn't need brightness to be seen. Tight, semi-sheer, a deep midnight blue that exposed far more than it concealed. She paused at the end of our hallway and looked at me like she was waiting for a judgment she already expected. My pulse didn't rise. My breathing didn't falter. I had taught myself for years to stay still, calm, unreadable. But inside, deep inside, something shifted. A small, sharp fracture cracked open in my chest. I held her gaze. "Where are you going dressed like that?" The question was simple, steady, almost casual. But the moment it left my mouth, she stiffened, just a fraction, like the truth had been resting right behind her lips. Her fingers skimmed the bottom of the dress. Her mouth parted. Then she gave me a smile I didn't recognize. "I'm meeting a friend." The room suddenly felt colder, sharper, as if the air itself understood something I didn't. A friend. I didn't move, didn't blink, didn't trust myself to. Because deep down, I knew one unchanging truth. People don't wear dresses like that for friends. Not married people. Not people who still loved you. Not people who once vowed forever. Her heels clicked toward the door. My stillness followed her, a shadow I couldn't break. I didn't stop her. Not yet. Something inside me whispered that tonight would drag the truth out of the dark whether I could handle it or not. When the door closed behind her, it didn't echo. It thudded, heavy, final, wrong. I stared at the empty space where she had stood seconds earlier, searching for reason, innocence, an explanation my mind could swallow without choking. But the dress, her look, her evasive answer, and my instincts, all trained to detect danger long before it strikes, whispered the same thing. Something's off. Something's hidden. Something's broken. I walked into the bedroom. Her scent lingered warm, floral, familiar. But it felt foreign now, like it belonged to someone I had imagined rather than known. Her phone was gone. The expensive perfume she saved for special nights was missing. Her deep red lipstick, the one she used to wear for me, wasn't in its usual place. Maybe I was overanalyzing. Maybe she really was meeting a friend. Maybe the dress meant nothing. But harmless things don't require hiding. Small truths don't need lies. And people don't tremble when mentioning a friend. The memory struck hard, the late-night messages cleared, the new passwords, the unfamiliar cologne lingering on her clothes, the way she started keeping her phone face down. Alone, they were nothing. Stitched together, they were catastrophic. For the first time in months, I allowed myself to admit it, not out loud, not fully, but silently and dangerously inside my own mind. She's hiding something. And whatever it is, it's not small. The dress wasn't the beginning. It was the slip, the crack in the mask she'd worn too long. And something cold rooted itself inside me. Not jealousy. Not anger. Clarity. I was going to uncover the truth, even if it burned everything. I didn't follow her right away. That would have been predictable, the move of an insecure husband. No, I needed answers, not emotional outbursts. I opened her jewelry drawer. A necklace was missing, the delicate gold one I gifted her on our anniversary. She never wore it casually. She wore it when she wanted attention, when she wanted to be noticed. But by who? I looked at myself in the mirror. My reflection didn't match the storm inside, cold, blank, focused. I grabbed my coat and stepped outside. I didn't chase her car. Too obvious, too easy to lose. Instead, I used something she forgot, something small, something insignificant. Her smartwatch, still charging by the bed. It synced automatically to her phone. Location sharing. Health data. Notifications. A quiet vault she didn't realize she left unlocked. Her location showed instantly. Not a restaurant. Not a friend's place. Not anywhere a married woman in a see-through dress should be. A private lounge across town, dim lighting, discreet entry, no cameras. My jaw went rigid. I drove without rushing, every mile sharpening the truth forming in my chest. When I arrived, I turned off the headlights and watched. Couples walked in, groups of men, Women dressed like they wanted to forget promises they once made. Then I saw her step out of a car I didn't recognize. Not alone. A man followed behind her, his hand brushing her back, a touch too familiar, too natural. She laughed, soft, bright, a sound I hadn't heard in months. She didn't laugh like that for me anymore. They disappeared inside together. My pulse stayed steady, but something inside me cracked open again. Not fury. Not yet. Just confirmation. I waited. 10 minutes. 20. 30. The man came out alone, talking on his phone. He got into another car and drove off. So he wasn't the one. Which meant someone else was. Someone still inside. Someone she dressed like that for. The truth wasn't creeping toward me. It was sprinting. For the first time that night, something dark settled behind my ribs. This wasn't suspicion anymore. This was betrayal. And I was done pretending I didn't see it. I didn't go inside. Not until I knew everything. So I waited until she slipped out the back door alone, hair messy, makeup smudged, legs trembling slightly. Her body told the story she wouldn't. I followed her home, quiet, distant, unseen. Inside, she didn't search for me, didn't call out, didn't check if I was awake. She went straight to the bathroom. The shower ran hot, long, guilt steaming off her skin. Eventually she stepped out in a robe, eyes dazed, cheeks flushed. She didn't notice me sitting silently in the corner. When she finally did, she froze. I held up her smartwatch, still glowing with her location logs. "I know where you were," I whispered, soft, deadly calm. She didn't speak. Her pupils widened, the body's instinctive reaction to fear. Then I placed the second item on the table, a photo. Her with the man who left earlier, his hand on her waist, her smile, the one she forgot she once saved for me. Her lips trembled. "Please. I can explain." I nodded. "Go ahead." She opened her mouth. Closed it. Tried again. Nothing. Because lies require confidence. And she'd run out hours ago. The moment she realized I wasn't shouting, that I was calm, too calm, her composure shattered. She collapsed onto the bed, face in her hands. "I made a mistake," she whispered. One tear slid down her face. I watched it fall, unmoved. The truth had already delivered its blow. She cheated. And she never expected me to find out. I rose slowly, my steps deliberate, controlled, like approaching a target already sighted. Her eyes followed me, not with love or regret, but fear of what I might do. But she misunderstood. People expect rage, shouting, broken objects, threats. That's what guilty people prepare for. But silence, calculated silence, that terrifies them far more. I placed a folder in front of her. She opened it with trembling hands, screenshots, timestamps, receipts, location data, everything she thought she'd buried, everything she gambled our marriage on. She covered her mouth. "Why didn't you say anything earlier? I wanted you to expose yourself." She flinched. My voice was calm. Too calm. Cold revenge isn't violence. It's precision. It's revealing the truth slowly until the betrayer suffocates under their own guilt. I sat beside her, without touching, without comforting. "You didn't dress like that for me," I said quietly. "You didn't laugh like that for me." A breath. "You don't love me like before." Her breath broke. I didn't mean to." "You did." Her tears flowed again, tears once reserved for real moments. Now they meant nothing. I pulled out the final blow, an envelope containing divorce papers already signed by me. Her face went pale. "You planned this," she whispered. "No." A beat. I prepared for it. She reached for my hand. I moved away. Memories flickered, warm nights, soft touches, laughter. Once beautiful. Now ashes. "You threw us away," I said flatly. "I'm just making your decision official." Her sobs grew harsher, louder. My heart stayed still. Love doesn't survive betrayal. Only truth does. And tonight, the truth was mine. I walked out, her cries trailing behind me like the final notes of a song we never finished. Downstairs, the house felt different, lighter, as if it had been waiting for this moment longer than I had. I sat on the couch, staring at the dark window. My reflection stared back, steady, silent, no longer the man who once believed love could fix anything. I thought of the early days, her laughter, her promises, the quiet nights when she held me like I was her only certainty. And then I thought of tonight, the dress, the lies, the betrayal woven into every silence she offered. Pain tightened in my chest, not sharp, but dull, weary, almost peaceful. Because I finally understood what I'd been avoiding. I didn't lose her tonight. I lost her long ago. Tonight, I only discovered where she went. Her footsteps came down the stairs, soft, hesitant. "Please," she whispered. "Can we talk?" "No." One word. Final. She reached for me. I stood before she could touch me. "I hope he was worth it," I said. She crumbled again. I didn't stay to watch. I walked out the front door and whispered the only truth left inside me. "Some endings are blessings disguised as heartbreak. How could you do this?"